everyone, it's Kato, and in this video I'm going to be doing a small island tour of my first island. This island is called Nedia. I just recently started a second island on my other Switch. This island has kind of a forest, cottagecore theme. It's pretty much done. The back half still has some work to do, but I'm also going to be going over some of my favorite paths that I like to use that are more natural. For the most part, they're all pretty easy to use. But when you step out the airport, here's my entrance. And the first path I want to talk about are these wooden planks right here. This is one of my favorite paths to use, kind of leading into things. I like to use it in front of houses, in front of shops, stuff like that. So for each path that I talk about, I'm going to have the code come up on the screen, and then I'll also have it listed in the description below if you're interested in any of these paths to use on your own island. So coming over here, this is Bo's house. I have this distressed white brick. This is one of the first custom paths that I started using. It's one of my favorites. It really gives that distressed look, and it's pretty easy to use. I think it only uses 5 or 6 slots, and you can even use less than that if you want to. And then coming up here, this is Fauna's house, and I've got these white stone tiles here mixed with the floral tiles, and then I also have this lace rug, which I really like. I use that in several places in my island. I think it gives off like a really girly vibe, and I like that you can see the grass underneath. And then coming through here, this is my orchard section. It's not really a linear orchard, just kind of trees scattered around. I like the look of that better. But over here underneath this swinging bench, I've got this almost macrame style rug. And again, I like that you can see the grass underneath. I feel like that keeps everything way more natural, foresty, and just really homey feeling. So now heading over here, this is my house. I've got this little mushroom garden, but I have these stone steps as a path up to my house. I really like these. They're also over in front of my entrance, and that creator has several different patterns, so I recommend checking that one out. They have this almost a floral stone pattern, which I like to put underneath things. I think it looks really good. Almost looks like a base or something for whatever item you place on top of it. So now let's head over here. This is my Able Sisters, and you'll see here I'm using that same distressed white brick. I've got that macrame pattern again. Here are some different versions of the white tiles. And then we'll head back the way that we came. So now we're gonna go over to my museum area using all the same patterns. I've got that brick, and then I've got that same wooden plank pattern that we had in the entrance, but this time I have it kind of scattered about. And I've got, some other, floral leaves, stuff like that scattered about all throughout my island just to kind of fill space. I have this it's like a 4-square stone pattern. I really like this pattern. They also have a single square stone pattern that's really good with that creator code, but I like the look of layering it over the other tiles. I think it just makes that area look more interesting leading up to Nooks. So here is the code for the path, which is this dirt path. I will warn you that it's 9 slots of custom patterns, but I think it's worth it. It gives such a natural feel, makes it feel like the older games where you've worn down the grass. It does take a little bit of time getting used to how to lay it down, but I think once you get the hang of it, it's not that bad. It just takes some time to get it all down. So coming over this way, this is kind of an overgrown secret garden style area on my island. Oh, there's that single circle pattern I was talking about, which is that same creator code as the 4-square circle pattern. But you'll see in this area I'm using a lot of the different custom patterns I liked the kind of messy look of it, and it fills everything up really nice in this area. I just wanted it to look overgrown and messy. You'll see I have more flowers and leaves, stuff like that, just to fill space. So coming down here, this is Lolly's house, and I have this wooden stump pattern leading up to her house. I really like that one. It's very natural. And I think it just gives kind of a cottage vibe to her house. Now we're passing Pond's house, and there's that Poppy's house, I can't remember, and Marshall's house. And then heading this way, I've got a little log area. And this is just a little painting section on my island. And then Raymond's house is up there in the back. All right, so heading over this way, this area is kind of the area that's not completely finished yet, along with those houses that we just saw. I've got a blue rose garden, I've got a little blueberry farm. It's kind of a work in progress. Still using that dirt path there. And then this is Sherb's little beachfront house here, using the wooden planks again. And then the paths on the beach, I really like the look of that. But that's about it. Now we've circled back around to my house again. And those are all of the patterns that I use on my island. Again, that dirt path takes up so many custom pattern slots that you really have to commit to wanting it, because you're not going to have much room for other patterns. But I do think it's worth it if you give it a try. Alright, so now we're going to switch over. The quality of the video is probably going to change because I've recorded this next step on my Switch Lite. So I'm going to show you how this rug pattern right here, if you go into Able Sisters and access the kiosk to change a pattern, you cannot keep a custom pattern in the game if you change it, unless it is face paint. Like you can put it on your face and then it'll stay there, or your town flag. You can keep your town flag and you can replace that custom pattern in your inventory. But in order to use any of these custom patterns, you do have to have the Able Sisters, and you do have to have the Nintendo Online so you can access the internet. So here I am. I'm going to access this kiosk, and I'm going to show you how you can change that pattern, and it'll change what you had on your island. Alright, so I'm just going to click on search by creator ID, and then I've got an ID code here that I want to enter in. I'm going to change that. It was like a white cable knit blanket, and I'm going to change it to more of a green plaid style blanket. So I'm just going to go in here, search through these custom designs, and pick the one that I want. And then I will select the one that I want to switch out. So there is the green one that I want to change, or that I want to put on my island. So I'm going to click save here. And then I got to pick the slot that I want to replace. So I'm going to go down here, find that chunky knit blanket, overwrite it, and there you go. And then I'm just going to back out. I'm going to stop using the kiosk, and then we'll go back out, and you'll see that it did change that blanket design on my island. I actually really like doing this for things like blankets, because you can so easily change the feeling or the design of an area quickly by just changing the custom pattern. It doesn't really work for, you know, dirt paths and stuff like that. But you go over here, now I've got this new green blanket pattern, and I think it looks really good with this little library section on my island. And I'm also going to show you one of the tips I have for laying out some of these more complex custom patterns is to sort your patterns. You'll see here I have everything kind of grouped together with the like designs, and then I'm showing you here where you can hit Y on your controller and swap spots. That's how you change where they are in your inventory here. I think that makes things really easy when you're laying them down as opposed to having them scattered all over the place. So take the time, organize things. It really helps when you're trying to lay out the designs on your island. Alright, well that's all for this video. I hope you guys got some ideas for some different custom patterns to use on your island. If you have any other custom paths that you like to use, if you'll leave them in the comments below so I can check them out. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram @ConsoleKato. See you next time. Bye-bye.